guys, what's up? Today we are installing a sub.
Two, actually.
Two subs.
Two 8-inch woofers in the Honda Civic.
Woofers.
They are Rockville, not Rockford. Those are nice. These are Rockville. eBay special. Like 160 bucks for two 8-inch subs in the same box with a amplifier and all the wiring stuff you need. I think it also has a sub volume switch. I'm not going to use that because from the reviews that I saw, they're not loud enough to even rattle the trunk, so I don't think I'm ever going to have to turn them down so the cops don't get me or whatever. I also never turn my subs all the way up because I don't actually like having blown speakers. Maybe I'm crazy, or maybe I'm just...
You don't like having, bro, that's all the Civic has, is blown speakers.
That's what's good about the sub though, is that I can turn down the bass on this one side of the car so that it doesn't so it doesn't rattle anymore.
I think you need that.
Shut up, bitch. I'll be fine. I was gonna say battle rattle.
Everyone full battle rattle, 5 minutes, let's go! Into the pit! Whoa! Unboxing time!
Every time, dude. Every time.
Yes, sir.
Ta-da. Got our amp. Rockabilly. Got our hardware. Got all of our wiring stuff. And our fuse. 2 fuses. I don't even need 2 fuses, you dumb bitch. And then I got my dual subs, baby! Rockabilly. These are tiny. This is way smaller than I thought they would be. I think I got pranked.
Did you get pranked?
I'll measure these bitches, because it said 8.
Oh yeah, that's 8.
I guess I forgot how long an inch is. I've been counting. Insert dick joke here. All right, we'll get back with you when it's step 1, which is now. Watch this, ready? First thing you gotta do, or first thing I always do, I always start wiring the positive wire to the trunk. It's gotta come from the battery, right? So, you know what that means. Battery disconnection time! Okay, so I'm gonna go through our wiring components. Here we got our ground wire. This could just go to any part on the chassis that is connected to the chassis. It could even go to one of the rear coilover top bolts. That's why it's short, because it's gonna go right with the amplifier, which is in the back. Here, we have our long positive cable that has to go from the battery all the way back to the trunk. This one kind of sucks to run, but I don't know how much of a fuck I give about concealing it. We'll see. Perfection is not the way of the eBay Civic. Then we got a bunch of hardware and zip ties, just some eyelets to actually connect them to the battery or to the ground that we choose to do. Got our fuse. This is going to go directly after the battery so that if it blows, it's really easy to change. They also gave us an extra fuse, I noticed. I've never had a sub that had 2 fuses, so I'm assuming this is extra, which is nice, I guess, in case it blows. Here we have our speaker wire that goes from the amplifier to the subs. Here we have our speaker wires that go from the back of the stereo. Here we have the remote wire, which goes from the back of the stereo to the amplifier to tell the amplifier when to turn on and off with the stereo so that it doesn't drain your battery when your car is off. And they gave us a little bit of heat wrap for the portion of the positive cable that will be running through the engine bay just to keep it from melting or exposing. So let's get to it. Taking this little bolt all the way off the terminal, or nut, I suppose. Then I'm taking my eyelet. I'm making sure it fits. It does. What do you know? So I'm taking my positive wire, giving it a little twisty twist, and I'm cramming it into this bitch. Now I'm gonna crush this, i.e. crimp it, make sure it's secure, which it is. And now I'm good to attach this. put it onto here. Get my nut on there, just a little bit like that. The reason I cut this so short is because off of the positive, I just want to run it right under here and then right into my fuse. I want my fuse to rest right here so that if it ever blows, it's really easy to access and change. I've had cars before that came with subs installed, and those assholes hid the fuses like halfway along the wire, and I was like, why would you do that? So we're not doing that. We're setting ourselves up for success. That's what we do here in Grid Engine. Success. Succeed, I suppose, is the past tense word that I'm looking for. He has the positive wire connected there, runs into the fuse. He's currently stripping the other side. He's gonna put it in this side of the fuse, and then we're going to run it around and back there to where you can't really see, because there's a lot of fun shit, through the firewall and into the car and then to the back. Yep, that's the fun part, is getting it through the firewall. So yeah, the way that you do these is you loosen this Allen screw. You take your the cap, you put it over the wire, and then put your wire in here, cram it in there, and then you just kind of crimp it down with this set screw. Once you get her crimped and in there, you take this and you screw it in there. This little red thing is supposed to keep water out, ideally, so that nothing in there corrodes, because it is in the engine bay where water can exist. One of the challenges, or the biggest challenge, I suppose, about installing a sub is figuring out where you want your positive wire to go through your firewall into your car. I usually don't like drilling holes in my firewall because I don't like trying to seal them, and I don't know what I'm drilling into and stuff like that. I usually just poke a small hole in an existing grommet with a wiring harness through it, and then just push the wire through. We found the perfect wiring harness. It's way down. I doubt you can see it, but it's underneath the steering rack. It's that clump of wires right there. Yeah, he's wiggling it from the engine bay. Yeah. When we finish that, we will get back with you. So as you can see right there, right next to that bundle of wires, we got the blue positive wire through, and we got it all through right here. And right now Simon is in the engine bay just zip tying it up and securing it where it needs to be secured, and then we can move on to the next step. Yes, sir. So we're running the positive cable back through the car, just kind of under the center console, then I'll run it under the rug, and then up. Yeah, up. And you know, I popped up the back seat because I was like, well, I gotta run in the back seat, get in the back trunk. Y'all thought the coffee in the front was bad? Sheesh, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how you get coffee under the seat, but not on top. Fuck is this, dude? Oh, that is so fucking nasty. You sure that's coffee? Sure someone didn't use this to wipe their ass? It straight up smells like coffee. It smells like the shit in the front. Someone, somehow, unless there was like a catastrophic coffee spill in the trunk that seeped in here. But I just have so many questions that I don't care to have answered. We got her through to the trunk. Look at that. We got our positive wire. Now, gotta find a ground, and then we gotta run our speaker cables and our remote cable from the stereo. Luckily, I left the stereo in such a way that we can just pop it out of the dash instead of disassembling the center console. So I'm patting myself on the back now for that. That's pretty sick. That's my foot. We're gonna do all of our stereo stuff at the same time, brother. Here's our remote wire. We gotta plug our little friend in. Yeah, so here's our thing. We're gonna take this long ass blue wire, run it down here, I guess? Yeah, once we get them routed to the trunk, we will get back with you guys, but I mean, the speaker wires are pretty self-explanatory. They just plug into the red and white jacks at the back of the stereo here.
Okay, yeah, there we go. The red and white wire, jack ports, what there. That's your fucking hand. Get your hand out of the way.
This was the only spot we could actually find to put it because none of the bolts that are actual grounds in the back of the car are small enough to fit through this eyelet that they provided. The way that I'm sure it's going to work is that I have my black test lead from my multimeter shoved in the wire. I have it set to test ohms or resistance. Take my red lead and I connect it to a known ground like this bolt over here. And you can see there is in fact continuity, meaning that that eyelet is grounded on the chassis. That's how you can test if you have to do a shady ground. Alright, so this is how we're gonna connect this B-word up. We'll start with our speaker cables here.
Goddamn.
This is gonna be our white one because it's lighter colored. This is gonna be our red one because it's darker colored. We're gonna do that on the input. Beans. Beans. That's the only thing we're gonna do on this side for now. Right here we got our power cable, 12 volt. Got our remote wire and our ground. Then over here on this side we have our speaker cables. We'll get back with you when that's done. I'm gonna throw up if I burp. I'm not gonna do that. Alright guys, I'm doing the final steps here. Got everything hooked up. I kind of zip tied some of the excess cable back there together. Got everything put in, making sure none of the wires are touching. And now, the biggest thing we gotta cross our fingers and hope for is that this little green power button, or little green power LED, comes on when I reconnect the battery and put the key to the first position. Go on. Alright, moment of truth. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah? Yep. Alright guys, we're gonna see how she sounds. Gotta break out the NCS. There we go.
So I said, no, what's supposed to be my friends and you would be.
You can see it vibrating. It's a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
So, would I recommend this sub for 160 bucks with the full kit? Yes. The wires it came with were long enough to run in any normal consumer vehicle that's not a truck. Even then it would probably still reach, so they were long enough. The eyelets were a little small, but whatever. Everything was actually included. I expected something to be missing, but it wasn't, so that was cool. For two 8-inch subs, not a bad sound. They put out really decent bass. And I never have my bass turned all the way up, so who knows how high they would go. I'm not gonna stress test them to see if they break, because I don't wanna break them. They're in there and they're pretty sick, right? Yeah, no, you get it. Get yourself one of these. They slap. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Make sure to subscribe if you want to see the future of the Civic. Also, more videos on the Celica should be actually coming soon now, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, actually
maybe,
probably, yeah.
Maybe we'll put a sub in the Celica too.
You know, after we get it to run again.
Well, hold on, we're not talking about that. It might be broken, it might not. You don't know.
I don't know.
All right, bye.